Hello everyone. This will be the last part of the series of tutorials on Grevit. In the previous one I showed you how we can schedule the parameters and how we can create tags to tag those parameters to display all the information that we've been kind of pulling out of Grasshopper. The one piece of information that we're missing is to be able to correctly schedule those is probably a kind of instance name for each one of those curves, so we can identify which curve are we actually looking at. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So let's go back to Grasshopper. So what we want to do is assign a, let's call each one of the vertical curves by a letter. So A through, I don't know, if you have 11, it's going to be A through K or something. We can do that if we go to sets, sequences, and then a letter sequence. So we want to create a sequence that has a count equal to the list length of the number of curves. And then our pull is the alphabet letters, and then so here's what we're going to end up with, which is we have 11 curves and we're going to have a character assigned to each one of them to make them unique. So this is going to be curve A, curve B, curve C, whatnot. So again, we want to graph them so that we get one parameter for each one of them on each branch, and then I'm going to simplify it just to keep it consistent. So there's that, and then I actually want to name them like A1, then B1, C1. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to sets, sequences, and I'm going to create a series. And then the series is going to start at, I'm going to start that series at 0. I want to use the same, I want to step it every 1. And for counts, I want to use the same list length. And then again, graph and simplify. So here we are. So now if we use a function called I think it's called under text it's called concatenate. There you go. So we want to put those together. So we're going to end up with curves that are A0 and then B1. And obviously I want all these numbers to be integers. So before I use them, there you go. No, actually I wanted all of them to be A1, B1, C1, D1. So not the series. Let's do it differently. Let's do a duplicate data. What that's going to give us, yes, I'm going to set that through integer, and then make sure that's grafted. So what we end up with is A1, B1, C1, D1 for each and every one of them. Yep, this is perfect. So this is going to be our naming parameter. That we're going to use here. I'm going to call this type name. I'm going to add it to already to the parameters that we've created, and then under P we're going to add another one here. Alright, so this is going to assign a name to each one of them. So now, on top of creating for each one of those curves, we're creating an arc length, radius, then the point XYZ coordinates, and now I'm assigning a name for each one of them. So it's going to be A1, and then the next one is B2, B1, the next one is C1, and so on. So that will help us sort those properly in the schedule, as well as tag them properly in our views. So let's add that parameter, and it wants to be a text parameter, obviously. It's called type name. So let's go to Revit, edit family, parameters, add parameter, shared parameters, edit, create a new called type name. It's going to be text. There we go. I'm going to load that into the project. So once in the project, we can come in, and I'm actually going to have to recreate that. So let's go with 3D view, clean those out, add-ins, Grevit, push those through. See if it worked. Yep, that's correct. So now, if we were to, I'm just using Control Tab to tab through. So this is one thing that that the lack of update function is kind of very disadvantageous. If we tagged anything, and then we gotta delete it every time, and then to re-import it, it deletes all our tags. So the update function is really important to have, and I hope we're gonna get it back pretty soon. So it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to have it. So then again, we got those two tags that I've been using. I should probably make it all into one to make it super easy. So let's add to this one type name, and then move that all the way up, give it a break. And then give it a prefix with a name. I'm actually going to combine those two while I'm here. So I want to add into this one, I want to just pull in radius. And I want to pull in arc length. So now I have this one massive tag that displays all those properties. And then I'm going to align it to the left. I'll load it back into the project. Now all I have to do is tag it only once, so this one's not going to be needed. If I added the tag, I can use a fill dot, or I think an arrow would be better. Yeah, perfect. To create our tags. And another real nice thing that we can use it for is that I can create, so this will be my drawing, and then obviously if I go to schedule, I can add that type name and then sort by type name. This is not the right type name. So I've added that type name parameter, hit name, and then all of a sudden here's your schedule, and it gives you all the information that you want. So you get a curve name, and then all the point coordinates and arc lengths and radiuses for it. And then if we're in 3D, for example, and if you were to block that view, give it whatever name you want to give it, now you can tag objects in 3D, which is just pretty cool, because you can create kind of three-dimensional views with all this information. And obviously this is probably too much information for a 3D view. For this particular one, you probably just want to display a name or something. But once you locked it, you can tag those. And then again, if you were to delete it and re-import it, that's kind of gonna screw it all up, because it's gonna delete all the tags. But another easy thing to do would be to annotate and tag all, and then once you do that, it kind of it brings the tag in for all of those pieces. So let's try to do this again actually with tag 4, give it a leader, horizontal, I'm going to pre-select this because I don't want to tag all of those pieces actually. I just want to tag those. Yeah. So here we are. And we can kind of go around and move those tags around to get them in the right place. We can create kind of three-dimensional views that explain our geometry and what we're working on. So then again, you can go into Grasshopper and add a specific name for each one of those, and then have those tagged with a dimension and a tag, or schedule them for manufacturing, and an assembly where you can schedule XYZ coordinates for both of those points, or if they were pre-assembled pieces, this entire thing, you can do it this way. Let me show you just one more thing. If we go back to Grasshopper, if you were to create a curve between those points, so we're going to add another piece of geometry, another wrinkle to our process. So if I wanted to create this, I'll reference that in as a curve. And then that curve is made out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. So I would take the evaluate curve component. Actually not. I'll actually divide the curve, because then I can do a list length and automatically pull that information from the amount of verticals that we have. We got one too many, so let's do subtraction. By 1. So here we are with the points that we need. So we have 11 points on the list that make up this curve, which is roughly what we want. So we can just create another family of type. I'm going to call this a spline _1. This will be the family and type. This will be my points, and there's no parameters, so I'm going to disconnect that, and I'll have that connected to the rest of them. So now back in Revit, if I wanted a new family, adaptive, then I made it out of 11 points. And then send a line through it. So it's the same process that I've been doing before. Then you can take the point and assign a 0 parameter to it. And you can take this one, assign 1 parameter to it. Now I'm going to save this as a spline, load this into a project. So this is a different type of family that I just created. It's made out of 11 points. That's why this list has to have 11 values defined for each one of them if I wanted to create more of those. So once we have that, let's go ahead and activate Grevit. Back to Revit. I call this spline _1 here, so let's change that. It's actually a spline. That's the mistake. I mean, that's the error. Here's another one that I've made. I didn't do my unit conversion. for all those points. Remember, the points have to be converted. Alright, let's give it another shot. See what this looks like. Well, that looks much better. Again, this tube had a 2-inch radius. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And we can just add more of those splines to get the rest of the framing out of Grasshopper. Alright, I hope this helps you out. Hope you found it useful. Feel free to shoot me some questions. You can find my email on my website, or you can find my email on the YouTube channel, or you can just follow me on Twitter. I might be able to get to you quicker if you send me an email, actually. So thanks for watching, and I hope you find it useful. Thank you.